Hey everyone, it's Blue Lizard Jello and welcome back to Everything Possible in the Surge 2. Last time we finally made it to the Cloud 9 bar. We had followed Jordan Black and her group of hunters there, and today we finally need to go into Gideon's Rock and start searching for this mysterious monster they've all been hunting. But before we do that, in fact, before we even get back to Cloud 9 bar, I am here in Seaside Court to talk to you about a few things. I did pin a comment in the last episode that mentioned there were two items that I failed to mention in the last episode that I could have collected, one being an implant and one being a weapon. Here it is, the Superheated Firestarter. Now in that pinned comment I mentioned that any of the flame wielding enemies in the capital square can drop this, and that is true. It is a single rigged weapon dealing 119 damage, 24 impact, 100% attack speed, 95% energy gain, 105% stamina consumption, and 39 fire damage. A lot of fire damage buildup. Excellent, excellent for anything weak to fire, like most human enemies. And then in terms of the implant, the Deflection damage enhancer. This is obtained by cutting off the head of those 8 security members just outside of that first scanner gate. Remember the ones by the Shady Doctor. At 3 core power consumption, this would give us an extra 10% damage for a short time after we successfully directionally block an attack. But there are also 2 more items that I need to mention before we head to Gideon's Rock. One is just a pile of scrap that's going to be closer to the Cloud 9 bar. The other one is a drone module out here in Port Nixon. In order to get this drone module, we need to find the nearest engineer. Now, when we first got to Port Nixon, remember there was one just down here in this section, over there in the corner with a few of his drones, but sadly, once we've killed him and then we fought Brother Eli, he will not respawn. So all we want to do is head through the Port Nixon thruway, plenty of them down below, but just past the medbay, which is right here. If you unlock this shortcut, which remember you only get if you were a little bit rude to Jennifer after you rescued her and demanded a reward, down here, we want to target the engineer's left leg. And that is because, you see what he just did there? He just pulled that drone from his left leg. And so because he did that, let me reset. And as I said, because he did that, that indicates that he is holding a little something, and we'll see that in a boss later on today as well. But he in fact was holding... the proximity mine drone module. Now this is a consumable, so in order to get more of these, we will have to farm it. We were fortunate enough to have him drop 3. Now we can carry 5 at any one time with any additional left in our inventory, and we can restock anytime we rest in a medbay. This is an incredible weapon at a whopping 200 damage, and when you hit an unarmored body part, that amount can be multiplied very, very easily. So I'm going to farm this particular engineer just by running up that mag lift, resting at the med bay, and then cutting off his left leg, so I can have some in stock, and I'll be back in a moment. There we are. Not too bad. I was able to get 10 very quickly, and that is going to serve us very, very nicely in some of the areas upcoming. Thank you so much to the one and only manager of the best paper company I know of, Dunder Mifflin, Michael Scott, for that tip. And now for the next item that I missed. Nothing that you couldn't live without, but because I'm trying to show everything that is possible, there is a loot pyramid just outside of Cloud 9 in the capital square that I did miss. Bradley, thank you so much for the comment and letting me know, so we're going to go pick that up now. If you want to skip ahead, just jump a little bit ahead in the video, maybe a minute or 2, but I will be showing the run back just to make it crystal clear exactly how these maps are interconnecting. Here in the capital square, I think the easiest way is actually to cross this bridge. Just avoiding all of the enemies right now. As long as we keep moving, we should be alright. Our goal is to get to the maglev. Now we may have to wait for the one enemy to come down. And we do. That's okay, because as soon as he's down, we can go up. And we don't need to kill either of these enemies either. So let's just run Serpentine. Serpentine works. And there's the loot pyramid right over there. Again, Bradley, thank you so much for letting me know. And there we have our pile of metal scrap. But that is about it. There's one other implant. This comes from the courtesy of Nicholas Myers. Once again, thank you so much for the awesome comments. I'm not going to go get it now. We'll be picking it up later. But if you go to that one entrance to the underground that I showed you just in the capital square where the poison was hidden behind the boxes, you can get yourself a free implant and I believe even an audio log. But we'll be getting that later on when we explore the underground. Back in Cloud 9, for anyone interested in only the action and you don't care about the narrative or the lore of this game or any of the side quests, then I'm going to put a timestamp in one of the pinned comments below because there are a number of NPCs to talk to in here and a number of side quests that we're going to pick up, even one that we're going to complete while we're here. So if you're not interested, click on that timestamp. Otherwise, let's get to talking. I've already showed that you can dance with those fine folks right over there, but we're going to start on the right and just do a large circle, ending up at the DJ right in the middle, and talk to everyone that we can to get more story and get all the side quests. Let's start with Yoko.
Oh, be a darling and bring me a sparkletini from the bar, then we'll talk.
Okay, pretty straightforward. Over here, you may recognize her from Seaside Court. We got Jordan Black.
You following me around? I told you already, the monster belongs to me. Taking care of business, what's it look like? Me and my guys are just about to kill the beast swiftly and mercilessly. So don't even try to mess with us. All hell's breaking loose at Gideon's Rock. But don't count me out yet. This battle's far from over. Name's Black. Jordan Black. AKA the Huntress. Mess with me and it'll be the last name you ever hear. A good general always has to look at the big picture, kiddo. Can't do that when you're right in the middle of the action. I'm having a hard enough time coordinating my troops as it is. Looks like my hunters have lost the plot. Once we're done with this job, I'm gonna kick their asses from here to the bloody moon, but right now I've got bigger fish to fry. I told you before, the monster belongs to me. But if you go out there anyway, you're welcome to kick the other hunters' asses. Tell him Jordan sent you. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Seems that Jordan's having a little issue with some of her hunters, and then we're going to run into a number of them, both the good and the bad, when we get to Gideon's Rock. I haven't seen the swimmer in quite some time, but yes, there is another group of people that we can dance with, and over here, we actually have the brother to Yoko. This is Dan.
Hey, you there, the blurry one. I'm so smashed, I can't keep my mouth shut. I just keep blabbing on and on and on and on. It's like a catch-20 something. You know, everything's going to hell, you know? I can't switch my brain off no matter how hammered I get. I'm not even sure. You know, nothing makes sense. My company got this contract with AID a couple days ago. Earned myself some big bucks. And all I had to do was find a bunch of sick kids and get them sent to AID command to have their defrag cured. It's just that, you know, I never heard back from any of them. You know, I just want to spend my cash and turn off my brain. Now I gotta stop thinking about those freaking kids. Oh wow, that's awesome. You're doing me a real solid. I have bigger stuff going on in my world. Hey, see that crazy chick over there? That's my sister. Haven't talked to her in 2 years. Good riddance. Sorry, but you don't know my family. That's not gonna help. Tell her she shouldn't have been born, like, ever. over there on the other side. Kind of like a metaphor, isn't it? Don't keep me hanging. What, you find anything? It's that old R&D facility right next to the evacuation camp. You just follow the smell of desperation and you'll find it. Come on, this is taking forever. See ya.
I don't know if it's really taking that long considering I only just got it, but we need to go and find out what happened to these kids that Dan and some other people were contracted to go and take to the 8 Center. But before we talk to more people, over here we have another loot cache, and inside we get a large pile, which is good for 1,000 tech scrap, not too bad at all. And then as we approach the bar, not Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, but we have Kyle Baxter playing Iron Mouse.
I know what you're about to ask, so how about I just go ahead and save us both some time, eh? Yes, I really am Kyle Baxter, the one, the only, the incomparable Iron Mouse. And no, despite my shredded torso, perfectly chiseled jawline, and brilliantly glistening teeth, I'm not really a superhero. I only played him in 8 movies. Oh, and yes, I am still on the dating market. Pardon me? Of course you should know me. I'm Kyle Baxter. The Kyle Baxter. Don Hackett's CREO newsletter called me the last movie star. Are you trying to insult my artistic integrity? Because that's never worked. And don't try begging me for an autograph. I'm retired now. Both. Obviously. If you want to find out more about the amazing adventures of Iron Mouse, TM, go to the comic book store in Port Nixon. That's where I always wait for my fans. Where my fans always wait for me. I never quit acting. Acting quit me. Those bastards at the studio replaced me with some smarmy AI dummy. Damn piece of scrap never even joined the Actors Union. They said it was because of my so-called drug problems and chronic paranoia. We both know they always had it in for me. Remember, tough as iron, quiet as a mouse.
Even though we don't get any sort of quest update, Kyle Baxter does in fact have a quest line, but remember, he mentioned that he always waits for his fans at the comic book store in Port Nixon. We've already been there, and we'll have to go back if we want to talk to him again. And now approaching the bar, we can talk to the bartender himself. This is Highball.
Ah, a new face. Haven't seen one of those in a while. We have some quite intriguing guests at this party. Too rich to worry, too poor to leave. Not me, though. I'll be long gone when the proverbial shit hits the fan. A man of my caliber requires the most exquisite piece of armor available. Sadly, my previous supplier was brought down by his lofty ambitions and the tip of a hunter's blade. Guess nobody else has the guts to go out there and do what needs to be done. Well, well. Looks like Yoko's found a new admirer. Beware of that girl, my friend. She'll have you for breakfast.
So I only use that option to get the Sparkletini. We could now run and give that to Yoko, which we'll do soon, but let's keep talking to Highball. Sounds like he might need some help.
Ah, a new face. Haven't seen one of those in a while. We have some quite intriguing guests at this party. Too rich to worry, too poor to leave. Not me, though. I'll be long gone when the proverbial shit hits the fan. A man of my caliber requires the most exquisite piece of armor available. Sadly, my previous Okay, but it's not gonna be easy. I should have told you before asking for help, shouldn't I? Don't worry, you'll do just fine. You know those gorgeous robot statues they have at Gideon's Rock? Their armor is simply impeccable. 24 carats of pure protection. Of course, you'd have to strip them for every single part. Mint condition. I think that goes without saying.
Highball is going to be looking for a full, completed set of the Gaia armor. We're going to be collecting that today in this episode and at least finishing it in the next one at the very latest. This is just like the quest with Warren, where we had to not only get the schematics, but make the set itself and then give it to him, or essentially sell it to him in order to complete it. We'll be able to do that relatively easily within the next 2 episodes, but let's go ahead and talk to Highball a little bit more first, starting with, what does he have for
You fought in
sale?
the mining wars, didn't you? Yeah, I know your kind. My little brother looked just like you when he signed up. He died almost 10 years ago to the day. Here, take this. It belonged to my kid brother. He'd want you to have it.
As far as what he has for sale, he has 2 graffiti tags, both the ears and the fist pointing up. He has the schematic for the Angel 6 arm gear. Remember, we could purchase another one of these from Molly Fox back in the Seaside Court. More Omni cells, of course. And then we have this implant. It takes a whopping 14 core power consumption in order to use, but it gives you 20% stamina regeneration, 15% energy gain, only while your health is low. This is the critical organ enhancer, and that is quite the investment for something so situational. He does sell the Earshot XD-1 headgear, so these headphones will count towards all of the other set bonuses, just like the other unique headgear. And he also has a returning staff from the Surge 1, the Peacekeeper, dealing 122 damage, 17 impact. It has an attack speed of 100%, 50% energy gain, 108% stamina consumption, and an electricity damage of 20.
Come back if you find more parts. That stuff's worth its weight in gold.
And just because he does have some information about the party and some of the party goers, let's talk one more time.
Any luck stripping? Sure thing, buddy. What do you need to know? Whatever. When you get to my age, every day feels like the end of the world. Name's Highball. I'm just a humble barkeep with a heart of gold. Now all I need is the armor to go with it.
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
Oh, that guy. I doubt this is the high point of his career. He's the only one at the party more grizzled than me. What? The actor? Kyle Baxter? He's a bit of a handful. Don't fall for his squeaky clean image. That guy's been in love with his own reflection for years. Fine woman, that one. We have a bit of history. Don't tell my wife, okay? That's a real robot? No kidding? I thought it was just another drunk cosplayer. He's a quiet one, that's for sure. But you know what they say. Silent, but deadly. We should keep an eye on him. Bundle of fun, eh? Can't stand her shtick. Well, I mean, we only just met, but don't you worry. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Stay strong, gorgeous.
I really do like that once you've exhausted all the other options, you ask him to tell us about us. That's kind of fun. Before we talk to the DJ, let's talk to Gerard.
Gideon's Rock is right behind the gate. There's a colossal, man-eating beast out there, and a lot of hunters playing war. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
Good talk. And we can get another side quest by talking to this robot.
Rebooting OS. Ah, good day to you. I'm Harold. You seem to have caught me with my firewalls down. How embarrassing. I am in charge of scouting capable warriors willing to hunt down a massive creature at the artificial wildlife resort, Gideon's Rock. Please excuse the system malfunction. My network has been hacked. A mere human wouldn't comprehend. My master, Athena Guttenberg, has been out of his mind with worry about Jericho City's nanite problem. He's been working 24/7 to find a way out. Whoever delivers the brain of the strange creature wreaking havoc at Gideon's Rock will be rewarded amply. I have already hired Miss Black and her jolly band of mercenaries over there. However, they have been ineffective so far, apart from stabbing each other in the back. Be warned, friend. If you don't succeed in your mission, the nanites will be unstoppable in no time. Even I won't be able to fight back much longer. Luckily, my existence is of no importance. I'm just a soulless automaton, after all. Slay the fiend, and deliver its brain to the CREO Institute of Technology. That's all I ask, friend. Sorry, my small talk routines are damaged. I am a cloud-based Silicon Valet, operated at the CREO Institute of Technology. I can download into different robotic host bodies. An external force is currently trying to compromise my system integrity. I don't know how much longer I will be able to fight back. Athena? How peculiar. My master had a grandchild by that very same name. She went missing after a... Oh wait. Access denied. Excuse me, friend. I won't be able to divulge that information until my hacked databases are repaired.
We now have confirmation that Athena is in fact related to Jonah Guttenberg, and it is his granddaughter. Also, question. I do have subtitles turned on, but if Harold is hacked, why are his subtitles actually showing with incorrect capitalization? Why would the subtitles show hacked as well? Anyway.
Short-term memory is the most adorable thing. I want you to find the nanite creature at Gideon's Rock. Kill it. Good luck out there, friend. Initiating recovery mode.
Here we have the medbay. We'll be using that here shortly to upgrade a little bit of our gear. There is that cargo elevator. Again, before we go to Gideon's Rock, we'll be taking care of that. And before we talk to DJ Tala up there, let's go back to Yoko and let her know we got her Sparkletini.
Huh? Oh, I'm not thirsty anymore, but OMG, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. The snacks at this party suck balls. I wouldn't finger this food for $1 million. But man, am I starving. If this is really the end of the world, I want to pig out, goddammit. I need meat. Real meat. Special meat, you know? Awesome. Buy the prime meat at Penny's Delicatessen, okay? It's the best butcher shop at Port Nixon. F that noise. Who cares if the world ends? I'm rich as sin. Party time!
Right. But now we're being told by Yoko to get some prime meat from Penny's Delicatessen. Well, guess what? We already picked that up when we rescued Jennifer the first time we were in Port Nixon.
I'm hungry AF. Did you get my snacks? Did you? Did you?
First, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Had a row with my brother. Whatever. Let that old stick in the mud sulk for all I care. He cray-cray.
Ah, yes, a fellow kid.
Effin' finally. Oh. That was some good shit. Sorry, no leftovers.
And we get 5 large piles of metal scrap, not too bad, worth 5,000 scrap. And before we check out the cargo elevator, let's stop in and talk to DJ Tala.
Yo, what are you doing? Just walking into my inner sanctum? I don't even know if I can trust you. Tell me the password or get lost.
Once you've turned in your first 10 audio logs with Mr. Scrappy, you will know the password, which is, of course, Keymaker.
Well, what do you know? You passed the test. Looks like you've got good contacts. You might be just what the Resistance needs. Our numbers are still low. There needs to be a groundswell. We have to send a signal. Tell people to mobilize. But we're not gonna do it over the airwaves. Can't trust modern tech. Not anymore. In that case, welcome to the Resistance. I see you already have a graffiti drone. Sweet! That should make things easier. Now all you gotta do is leave the new Resistance symbol all around Jericho. We're a group of top-secret underground freedom fighters. So shush. Everything going on around us started with a power surge at CREO. After that, those damn nanites were unleashed. But there's more to it. Much more. The government is trying to cover something up. Something big. We have to fight the system with everything we've got. The Earth is a cake, man. I organized this rave myself. Needed a place to hide in plain sight. We even have an open bar. Just tell the bartender DJ Tala sent you. Yeah, right. One. That's what they all say. This is top secret stuff, champ, so zip it. All we need is a straight and simple paint job. Our founder, Dr. Chavez, chose the Resistance symbol. It's this branch thingy with leaves. Seems to hold special meaning for her. Just use your drone's spray can module to leave our symbol wherever you go. Spread our message. Come back and report to me regularly. The revolution will prosper.
If you remember Dr. Chavez, we located her in the biolabs in the first surge.
Party on!
So we have to leave graffiti tags throughout the districts of Jericho in order to help the resistance grow with DJ Tala here. We are almost ready to go to Gideon's Rock, but first detour towards a cargo elevator to get just a little bit more loot and a couple more audio logs. This is going to lead us to a familiar looking mag lift. Once we get down to the bottom of these stairs and cross a couple of areas, let me turn the light on here so we can see better. We're going to see exactly where it spits us out, but first, just a couple of quick audio logs.
A massive gentrification initiative transformed Jericho City's former red light district into what's now known as Gideon Plaza. Explore hundreds of galleries with brightly lit windows, buy everything you'll ever need, and enjoy miles of malls to treat yourself. And if you remember this district from the good old days, why not buy your wife a gift? This time without remorse.
Just a little audio log about what this place used to be. We've unlocked this magnetic lift, and now you can see that outside is Capitol Square. Down here we have a med bay and a passage to the underground. But let's make our way back. We've already collected a couple pieces of scrap, one in a loot cache and one just in a loot pyramid. But we did see one more audio log on the ledge. We're going to listen to that as we make our way back to Cloud 9 and finally head on to Gideon's Rock.
They've installed scanner gates everywhere. It's like we're nothing but lab rats now. This is the end game. They always wanted a way to segregate us. Now they've finally got their wish. This is going to get worse. Much worse. Soon they'll kill us off one by one. It always starts like this. I can't wait any longer. There are still some secret escape routes. I have to get out of here.
On that note, we have finally talked to all the guests, got all the audio logs, and it's time to head to Gideon's Rock. I am going to make just a little bit of upgrade to the current equipment, and I'll show you exactly what we'll be using in just a moment. Well, things are going to look pretty much the same as they have for quite a while. Still using the Stranger's face mask along with 5 pieces of the Scavenger set for the full 6 set bonus. Right now I'm using the Darkened Dragoon Spear, but I'm also going to be using the Codename Moonlight Heavy Duty. Also the Urban Judgment Axe, which is another heavy duty, but this is specifically just for the electricity damage. For implants, most of it has stayed the same, but I have now added the Tissue Hardening Injection. So I do have this upgraded to Mark II, which means I get 3 maximum pre-charges and a free pre-charge at Medbay. One thing that I need to point out about the pre-charge at Medbay, you only get that free pre-charge whenever you rest at a Medbay if you don't have any current pre-charges stored. If you have as little as 1 stored, you will not get that free pre-charge. But finally, let's head into Gideon's Rock. A trio of Jordan Black's hunters facing off against the monster up at one of those towers. But before we go and take them on, let's take this little side path. And just around the corner, we do have a loot cache with another new implant for us. This is the new implant Elemental Intensifier, a booster implant. It requires 2 core power consumption. While we lose 20% physical damage, we do gain 30% elemental damage, which does also increase not only our weapon elemental, but our drone as well. So potentially a really valuable tool if you're trying to stack that elemental damage. Now as we approach, now we can see some loot up above. We're going to have to get that from up above a bit later on. But we do have this one lone hunter, the lizard hunters as it said. We can of course collect all of the schematics, but we also want to collect their weapon, and we're going to start there by going after the right arm. But this is also where this Jag biosensor comes into play, because as we get close, and as hopefully this one's going to demonstrate for us, there we are, they can and will turn invisible, and this is supposed to help us locate them. Of course, it leaves a little bit to be desired even still. So I did want to show it off, but frankly, I'm just not going to be using it.
Hello? Can you hear me? I don't know who you are, but I think we can help each other. Meet us in the camp at the cliff. We're not with the other hunters.
So we just got the Jag-9 Long Fang. This is a one-handed weapon dealing 145 damage at Mark III, 16 impact, 110% attack speed, 35% energy gain, and 80% stamina consumption. When we fight the boss later on in this episode, we can get, it is a similar weapon, but it is definitely upgraded. We didn't get any schematic because that arm was not armored, but that's okay. We're going to have plenty of opportunities killing these hunters. Inside here, we do have just a nice piece of loot, but right down there, I want you to keep in mind that little section, as well as the hole up in the ceiling there. Gonna be a little while before we see either of these places again, but I just wanted you to see them so you can make that connection. We have the one hunter straight ahead who has probably seen me, and if not, I would kind of like him to. So let's get the laser pistol out, give him one quick shot. Oh, looks like we are just out of range. There we go. He can also fire as well. So let's go for his head. Hopefully he's going to come our way. Still just using the Darkened Dragoon, but we do have this ambush on the other side here. Using that nano damage to great effect. And, oh, did we get it? We're going to have to get a block, I think, to get some energy built up. If he would like to, that would just be great. Tell you what, I think we're gonna have to. Oh, of course he's going to wait until we go after the other guy. We're just going to generate some good energy here. We're gonna have to use it on him. That's all right. Now these, just like some of the enemies that we fought in Port Nixon, they have an implant on their chest that allows them to go invisible. If you break the chest, they won't be able to go invisible anymore. Now we got the schematic for the Jaguar body gear. The partial set bonus gives you an additional 5 Omnicells you can carry on you, and the full set bonus, brace yourself. Every time you fill a battery, you gain 1 Omnicell. Woohoo. Sorry, I find that to be just incredibly lackluster. I was hoping to still get the head here, but unless I can get some deflections... Well, there's one, got a little bit there. Can we do it again? Nope, not there. Still gonna try. Okay, one more and I'll be able to get that cut. And there it is, perfect. Granted, we're gonna be fighting plenty of these, so I really didn't have to, but it's nice to get the headgear nice and early. So this path up here doesn't really lead anywhere new, it just circles right back around, but this does allow you to get the drop. So instead of just coming right up the main path like I did, you could go around and at least take out the one that's trying to ambush you, if you so desire, but certainly not a requirement. Up here, don't forget we just get some cache of advanced scrap, which is going to be really nice.
Almost there.
Hawk had already talked to us once when we encountered the very first hunter, but here we have the safe zone. There's the med bay, and we have 3 NPCs that we can talk to, as well as an audio log. So again, bear with me while we get some more quest information.
You've left a trail of destruction down there. Guess you enjoy making enemies.
My guys? Bullshit. Those jackasses betrayed us.
It's every man for himself down there, cutting each other up like a bunch of spoiled pansies. We're the last hunters sane enough to catch that monster. Got the tech and the expertise. We just need some extra muscle. If you're willing to share the reward, we'll share the risk and guide you from our base. Perfect time to join this whole shit show, eh? All the glory and half the tech scrap. We can cash in on a massive bounty if we deliver the creature's brain to some mystery man at CIT. But remember, you try and get one over on us, we'll finish you.
Now we happen to know that that mystery man at CIT is none other than Athena Guttenberg, the founder of CREO.
I managed to find that freak's Achilles heel some time ago. Cost us a lot of good men. We can blast magnetic waves through the park if you activate the 3 old repeller towers scattered around Gideon's Rock. Ask my guys if you need more intel. Name's Hawk. I'm in charge of these half-wits. The guy at the door is Killswitch. He's my comms officer. Brilliant man, but a bit of a dick. Oh, and there's a weirdo named Roch skulking around. Talk to him at your own risk. Good luck out there.
So the goal is we need to activate 3 of these repeller towers, towers that look just like that. That will drive this beast, this nanite beast, into the trap that they've laid out right in this central path. We have 3 paths that we need to take. There's the Mustang path, there is the Cougar path, and then there is the Wild Boar path. Today we're only going to be covering the Wild Boar path, which does have a boss battle in it, and then in the next episode we'll continue down the other 2 paths and end with the final boss battle here at Gideon's Rock. Let's give a quick listen to this audio log. It is a short one, and then we'll talk to the 2 other NPCs before continuing on.
Finally, I managed to reconfigure the 3 repeller towers scattered around Gideon's Rock. It took a lot of work and a bit of guerrilla tech, but it seems to be working now. More or less. Old man Guttenberg came through after all. His tech drives that freak up the wall. Now we just need to corner it. If we survive that long.
Some more information about those repeller towers, but this is Killswitch. Now Killswitch is going to tell us where the beast currently is, down which one of these paths. If we follow the creature itself, then we're going to be facing nanite enemies. If we go down the other 2 paths and then leave the last one, then we only have to deal with nanite enemies in the last path, which is what I plan on doing. So we're going to find out which path the beast is currently on and avoid it. Hopefully, the Wild Boar path is clear.
Hey, what's up? Hawk trusts you, then we're good. For now. Yeah, and I need a day off. What can I help you with? Let's see. Right now, it seems to be hanging out at Mustang Hills. That'll be the ride of a lifetime. Go for it. I'll support you. From the sidelines.
Where the creature begins is actually randomized. More often than not, I have found him in the Cougar Trail at the beginning, but now he's actually in the Mustang Hills. But luckily, Wild Boar is all ours.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to... Well, you know how that line ends, don't you? The monster happened. The hunters have always been a rowdy bunch, but lately things have reached a boiling point. Hey, at least the 3 of us have a code of honor, and I'll take it to the grave if I have to. Of course, I'd rather not. Goodbye.
So that is Killswitch, and then lastly we have Roch. Roch doesn't have a lot to say, but he does have a side quest for us.
Howdy, I'm Roch. Yeah, pal of mine went AWOL, looking for audio recordings. Alright. Go check the areas around all 3 repeller units. That's your best bet. Ugly nano mutant. It has to die. Went kill crazy. Don't know who started it, but Jordan's mad as hell. Even blame me, Hawk and Killswitch for it. Your weapons will have to do the talking. Later.
So find 3 audio logs about the Hunter Insurgent at Gideon's Rock. We're going to learn a little bit about that today, finish that mystery up tomorrow. Also, I did pick up some more scrap behind the base just up on that rock. And now time to meet the very first robot, the one that Highball was asking us about. And for this, I'm going to be switching over to my Judgment Axe so I can use the electricity. Right ahead, that statue is going to come to life, and we can cut off all of the pieces just like any other humanoid enemy. In fact, we have to in order to complete his side quest. We have to collect all the schematics and then craft all of the armor. But we can also get a new drone module from the head and a new weapon from the right hand. I want to start with the head. If you haven't mastered the directional blocking, now is going to be the best time to learn because it makes these fights rather trivial. You see I got the Gaia Laser drone module. just very carefully waiting for the attacks, getting the directional block, and then punishing. Not too bad if you get that done. But we also got the schematic for the Gaia faceplate. So let's take a look at both of those. The Gaia Laser, it only does 8 damage, but this is a channeling module. The longer this fires, the more damaging it becomes. It only takes 1 Omnicell consumption per, but that's per tick, so it does go down rather rapidly. We will be able to boost this damage though with a certain implant that we'll see a bit later on. But we also got the schematic for the faceplate. The partial set bonus increases the damage of continuously channeled drone attacks, just like the laser that we just picked up. And then the full set bonus, a battery is filled, you gain an Omnicell. Devs, I feel like that can and should be increased. Now let's switch over here because we can add a couple of pre-charges. Remember, now that we have more than one injectable, we need to be juggling back and forth to keep those filled. Through these bushes, we have a locked mag lift. We'll be picking that up rather shortly because that is part of the the Wild Boar Trail. But then before we go down any one of the trails, I do want to pick up one more side quest, as well as listen to this nanite echo just outside of the CREO Institute of Technology.
Well, what have we here? I thought we captured every last kid in this damn city.
Let me go!
Shut up, you little brat. AID response will pay you a shitload of money to get their mitts on you.
It looks like Athena was trying to make her way to her grandfather Jonah in CIT, and AID response may have gotten their hands on her just before. But in the cache that's left behind, we get the Fractal Skull Crusher, a hammer-type weapon dealing 128 damage, 24 impact, 90% attack speed, 65% energy gain, 110% stamina consumption, and 28 nano damage. Now we're not going into CIT, but I am going to take a look at some of the areas just around it. For example, over to the right, we have this loot cache with the Muscular Enhancement Injection Implant. This injectable implant takes 5 core power in order to use. It starts with 2 max pre-charges, and it increases the damage and electricity damage by 10% for a long time. Not bad, and especially for the low core power that it takes, definitely something we'll be using. We have a lost seed over here, but before we try to pick that up, let's listen to this audio recording. This is probably the most lore-heavy audio recording, so if you have pen and paper handy, I suggest getting it now.
Hey, Tin Can, quit that ruckus and get to work.
And if you didn't understand that, then I truly feel sorry for you. But this is the individual who left that recording. Oh, Garden Crab VT16, what could you want? Do you want to dance? Well, obviously you want me to bring something to you. No? Do you want me to plant flowers? Fair enough. So, this wonderful robot just wants us to plant 5 flowers in these 5 flower pots. We get the very first seed right here, and for planting, we get some tech scrap right away. We're going to find the rest of these 4 in Gideon's rock, and once we turn them all in, we'll get even more scrap and a really nice weapon from that robot. So I could take the Cougar Trail, but as I said, I want to start with the Wild Boars because that is where the boss is. Now this is the trap that they've laid out for the monster. There are 2 more audio logs we're going to listen to, but just to give you the lay of the land, there's the Mustang Trail. Here is a shortcut door, not going to be opened just yet. Here is a sealed mag lift, but right next to it we do have the first of one of the audio logs that Roch is looking for.
What's up, Captain?
That bastard Jack. I was eavesdropping on him.
Never liked the little shit.
Same here, Faye. He's plotting to kill us. Have you seen Hawk? I think he's next on his hit list.
Haven't seen him yet. She'll go ballistic if she finds out.
He wants to keep the reward for himself. I should have known. Why'd I ever trust that son of a bitch?
Don't worry. I'll take care of it. With or without Hawk.
Yeah. I just hope we aren't too late.
Sounds like there was some dissension in the ranks and Hawk could even be in danger. This is not one of the audio logs we need to find for Roch, but an interesting listen nonetheless.
Any status updates, Kane? You lost your mind? This thing is ripping us to shreds.
Tough luck, hombre. No paycheck without some bloodshed.
Very short and sweet and to the point. Now, as we explore Gideon's Rock, there are a lot of hidden trails. So feel free to go off the beaten trail just as often as you think you may have to. Sometimes you have to drop down, sometimes you have to climb up, and sometimes, well, you're not going to find anything at all. But that's okay, there really is a lot of loot to find. Now this door, we're going to open it from the other side in just a moment. We will have another Gaia robot. But right here, this hole, I don't want to drop down, but if you can kind of see where we're at, this is that hole that we looked up from when we first entered Gideon's Rock. We collected some scrap, we saw a little underground base, and now we're looking into the hole. So if you want to go back to the beginning, this could be considered a little bit of a shortcut. Now right around here, this bridge is not going to extend except from the other side, but we do have one of our lost seeds. So at this point, only 3 more to find. We could drop down here. This will lead back to those first hunters, but again, just a shortcut back. We don't need it. But there is another Gaia Laser. First, I'm going to just open up this door. It's nice to have. Excellent.
The southern repeller is close by. Let's wrap this up quickly, okay?
Down there is the forest we'll be exploring once we kill that robot. But if you wanted to drop down here, you most certainly could. And again, all that is just a very, very minor shortcut. And let's switch back to our Judgment Axe. This time we're going to go for the right arm. Watch the shield slam. I should have watched out for that. Of course, we can break this if we just go for the charge attack. But I'm just focused on the arm. There's the good directional block. Should have the cut here very quickly. Nice. Now notice when we get the cut, they do not die. While I haven't actually seen it happen, it should theoretically be possible that you could get more than one armor piece per fight. Of course, now I'm taking a little bit of damage because I'm not timing these well at all. Let's see if we can get the chest piece. I have not been successful yet, so I am curious. Ooh. And I don't think we're going to get it quite. Let me know in the comments if you've been successful getting more than one piece in the fight. But notice we did get the arm schematic and we got the Gaia Laser, another spear class weapon, 184 damage, so this is a Mark IV weapon, 11 impact, 100% attack speed, 25% energy gain, and 76% stamina consumption, and you all know just how much I enjoy the spear class weapons. Let's top off, let's drop a couple of metavoltaic pre-charges. So I dropped down here, I could drop further, but I really only dropped down here because there's a loot pyramid up in the corner, good for a pile of tech scrap. And now we're going to descend these stairs into the forest. The Matea Forest. And we have a number of these enemies coming at us. And you know what? I'll be honest, I've already forgotten what schematics we've collected so far. Just the head and the body, so we need arm and legs. Well, we do have a leg here. When they're invisible, they're not immune. So if you have a weapon with some really good horizontal reach, I definitely recommend going for the attack even without using the Jag biosensor. In fact, there is an achievement for getting the kill without them being visible. So if you can get the kill while they're invisible, you will get an achievement for it. Now in here, let's listen to this audio log and then pay attention to what we see from this underground lab.
CREO's innovative photosynthesis technology creates real air from artificial plants. Breathe in a sigh of relief as you take in these incredibly realistic odors. Smells like heaven, doesn't it? Please refer to the small print for risks and side effects.
We got a little bit more loot down here, but this is the lab that we saw in that first cave just over there. We got a bit of loot, and there's the hole in the floor that we just saw. But we already knew that this was an artificial sanctuary of some sort, and now we're learning about biomechanical plants, artificial plants, non-carbon based or at least non-organic plants that were somehow also generating oxygen. Really interesting technology that CREO's been putting out. Back in the forest, there are a number of hunters that way. We're going to avoid them just for now. Instead, we're going to head up this path, grab this loot cache. We get a new implant again, the Nanite Shatterer. This is another booster class implant. It takes 3 core power, and we've already seen this with the Manslayer, but the Nanite Shatterer, we lose damage against humans, against robots, but we gain 10% damage against nanite enemies. Spoiler alert, the final boss in this area is a nanite enemy, so the Nanite Shatterer is a great idea. Some more loot to be had there, but let's drop down and let's start taking out some more of these hunters that are going to be gathered around. And let's see, do we have an arm yet? We do not. So I'm just going to go for the chest. Maybe I can stop him from going invisible. No stamina, unfortunately. Let's get some health going. And could have gotten the kill, that's alright, or at least the cut. Now again, there are a few of them in here, so it's okay to dash in and dash out as often as you feel you may need to. There's one. Still no arm gear, which is unfortunate. Ooh. Tell you what, let's switch to this injectable because boy, we are not doing well at all. Right, I need to play this a little bit safer. And was that enough? Not quite. Whew. Playing this a little bit loose. It's not going to take much to die here. And there are more. In fact, I think it's probably time to focus on the unarmored areas just to get the quick kills. He almost caught us there. Oh, he did catch us there. And there we go. Got the kill. Still a little bit low on health. Got our tech scrap back here. Not out of the woods yet. Make sure no one's sneaking up on us. But back here in the bush, we did get some Implant Circuitry Mark II, but that's because that was another implant we've already had. I believe that was either a toxic filter or a Manslayer. I'm not sure exactly which one that was. But now we can go back to the main path. Here in the main path, there are still some more enemies, so we do have to be careful. There's one. Still no arm gear. Good damage. And I do actually like when they go invisible, if I'm being honest, because that gives me the opportunity to just attack wildly, because they will always come invisible again before they attack. Okay, he's not going to be able to go invisible because he does not have the chest piece. Gonna try and shoot us. I'm not going to allow that. Did get a free battery there. That will work for me though. So before we go this way, we do want to make sure we've gotten all the loot, including up this way. We get a loot cache.
No.
Back up, back up. And let's see if we can get a deflection. There we go. That's going to give me some really good energy. And you know what? I'm not even going to go for the cut. I'm just going to go for the heals because we need it. That's getting a little bit too close for comfort. And here we have the robotic disruptor. Going along with the nanite shatterer that we just got, this is going to reduce the damage against humans and nanites, but an extra 10% against robots. And once again, yet another audio log.
What's that? My trap. Your trap? That's what I said. But like, why isn't it our trap, man? Our trap? I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this piece of junk. I built it all by myself. Paid for the parts out of my own pocket. I even tightened those little gears. Gears? Bullshit! I can't see any gears, bud! Are you dumb and blind now? Look there! Oh, down there, damn it! The little trigger, right... Oh, shit! He really did put his blood, sweat, and tears into it.
That did not sound good. We've unlocked that maglev, which puts us right outside of the medbay, which is perfect because we are getting very close to the boss. And the boss, while not too terribly difficult, it is also a boss that can kill you very, very quickly. Now, we do have some more hunters in this area, but we also have another of the Gaia robots. We don't want to be fighting them at the same time. Let's see if we can get this hunter's attention. I'll just use my lace pistol. Shame that we're still not getting any of the arm schematics. Okay, he's not really going to be playing ball. So we'll just get the kill with that nice drop attack. Some more Omni cells, and I don't see any other hunters. Well, let's go for the Gaia. This time I think we'll go for the chest. Oh, and now we have a hunter. Of course we do. So we are going to back up. I did just use my tissue hardener. Let's let the hunter, oh, apparently get behind me. I really did practice this, I swear. There we go. Oh, that worked out very, very nicely. Got the kill. I'll build up some energy against the Gaia robot. That shouldn't be too terribly difficult. And once again, we are going to be going for the chest. Or did I need the leg? You know what? I might have already had the chest. That's okay. Should be fairly easy here, and we're going to be fighting plenty of these enemies. Oh, watch this shield slam. You can see just how much damage they do, though, when they connect. So while they can be easy to kill if you're careful, they can also easily take you out. Okay, good. So we still needed that one. I think we just need the leg now. That will complete it. Perfect. So we still need to make sure that we've cleared all the hunters here. Make sure we're also storing all of our charges. There we go. Still no arms to be seen. Oh, and we have another one joining. So let's back up here. Make them come to us if at all possible. Trying to bait some attacks. And that works out very nicely. I'm going to use another tissue hardener. There we go. Got the mid combo deflection there. Perfect. Heal up. And where did the other one go? There we are. Let's go for the head. Oh, stopped a little bit short. That's fine. You go right ahead and go invisible. I have such sweep on this Judgment Axe. I'm okay with that. Perfect. There we are. Still waiting on the arm gear, but that's all right. We are so very, very close to the boss. Dump another one into that. So there is stairs that we came down. We're going to hug this left wall. As we hug this left wall, we're going to find these stairs. And over here, this is another reclamation body, which we've already picked up, so that's just going to become material. But don't forget to actually head over here to grab some more loot right by the boar statue. It's another Manslayer implant, so again, just turns into material, but we're going to want those to level up as many implants as we can. do have another hunter here. There he is. Okay, a little bit of damage, not bad, I can handle it. Top off, leave that one battery. You can see that's where the Gaia Laser or Gaia drone was, just over there, but we do have this little section. Now this door cannot be opened yet, but we do have direct access to that shortcut if we need it, if we need to hightail it back, but we are so very close to this boss. And this boss, well, it doesn't have a 2.0 version of his weapon. What he does have are two different weapons that you can collect. I'm going to tell you right now before we enter the fight, the trick to this, in my opinion, are proximity mines and Molotov cocktails. This is another hunter that we've already heard on these tapes. This hunter will go invisible quite a lot. They'll use electricity traps on us, and they can just hit extremely hard. At our current level, we will need to directionally block them twice in order to get the stun. If we want their weapon, we need to cut off his right arm. If we want a drone module, a shotgun drone module, we need to cut off his left leg. So, what we want to do is use the proximity mines to blow him down, and then as soon as we see him start to go invisible, we will be using the Molotov cocktails. Very, very effective. The strategy is exactly the same. Me personally, I want to go for the weapon, so I'll be going for the arm cut. If you want the drone module, then the shotgun, the left leg, is going to be for you. But let's prepare, get our mines ready. We're going to use a tissue hardener as soon as he drops down, but let's go fight Captain Cervantes.
I'm not leaving any witnesses. Die!
Right. So I'm just going to rush that and we'll give it another go. You know what? I have an idea. Let's pretend that the real reason that I just died was because I wanted to show you just how easy the run back was. You know what? I like it. That's now official canon. But as long as you are careful, you should be able to avoid all contact and really just about all damage. Unless the lizards decide to fire at you, then it becomes a little bit more difficult. But there we go. And I am going to leave my scrap on the ground because I would like to just allow that to passively heal me. Okay, there's one deflection, very good. Watch the electrical traps, use our Molotov, wait for the delayed attack. Oh, just missed it. Once again, Molotov. There it is. Good hit, good damage. And I think we're actually going to try out the code name. And he is not giving us something we can block, so let's make sure we're not trying. You can see that symbol there. And still, again. Oh, lost the lock on when I tried to use that Molotov. That was a bit of a waste. And stuck on some trees. Okay, just one more and we'll get a nice deflection. Oh, not that one though. There it is. 539 damage. That was a lot. There's a good deflection. And another one. Massive, massive damage output here. But we need to be careful. I'm going to put another tissue hardener. Okay, let's make sure we don't lose our scrap. I do not have any more of my Molotovs, which is a shame. They work so nicely in this fight. They seem to always make him do that long range attack, which I do like. And he's doing a lot of unblockables currently. Let's get a proximity mine out. He's gonna walk right into it. Perfect. Okay. Is that enough? There it is. There's the cut. Perfect. Good fight. Really good fight. Captain Cervantes is offline again. If we had broken and dismembered his left leg, we would have gotten the drone module. Instead, we get the Jag-22 Athena. One-handed Mark IV, 178 damage, 15 impact, 105% attack speed, 75% energy gain, and 90% stamina consumption. Absolutely fantastic. Not to mention, it looks like a katana. Absolutely love it. And we get the schematic for the Wraith arm gear. We'll be able to get more of this later on. The Wraith arm gear has a partial set bonus of an additional 10 Omni cells, which is incredible. And then filling a battery awards 2 Omni cells with the full set. It's twice as good as the others. We also get some more Omni cells, and we get the Cervantes Secret 3 out of 3. We're now only missing 1 audio log for Roch.
Hey there, Jordan. I bet you're wondering what's been going on. Seems like I can scheme even better than you. Getting my hunter comrades to turn on each other was easy. Almost too easy. All I had to do was to fan the flames. First with Jack, then with Faye. After that, I only needed a pawn. Strangled one of the rookies in his tent. The next morning, the fireworks started. They were so eager to blame each other, I only had to sit back and wait for one of them to crack. Didn't take very long. Both groups already had it in for each other. If my name happened to come up, I'd spread some rumors to muddy the waters. Took a bit of a gamble on that one, but boy did it pay off. Faye tried to calm everyone down, but that was never gonna work. Even I didn't expect that kind of savagery. It was a bloodbath, plain and simple. I'll be the last man standing, Jordan. The reward will be all mine.
And all of this so he could be the only one to claim the reward, all about money at the end. But this is the first repeller tower. All we need to do is activate this panel. And any nanites in the area would have been repelled. And if there were any nanite sludges or any nanite enemies around here,
Amazing.
they would now
We
disappear.
didn't insulate any wires and it still works. Glad you survived.
We can now extend this bridge, head on over. Of course, we need our exo rig to open that up, but do not forget to come down here, open up this loot cache, and we get the drone Cyclo Intensifier. This pairs really, really nicely with the partial set bonus of the Gaia armor. That's because for every second that a continuously fired drone module is used, it gains 5% damage and 5% elemental damage. And it only takes 3 core power to use. So if you want to use that Gaia Laser module, that stacks really, really nicely. But now let's open this and make our way back to the medbay. And there is the city, and there is the CREO Institute of Technology. There's the Kruger Trail, which means while we do have a Gaia robot, because I just ran past everything, we are now safe and sound back at the Overlook with the medbay at hand. And that is going to do it for this episode of Everything Possible in the Surge 2. I hope you learned something, and if you did, leave me a comment below and let me know what you learned. And if I missed something, or if you have other tips and tricks you want to share, leave those as well, because, well, I love to keep learning. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Oof, this place could use a little bit of cleaning, and I will see you next time.